Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of
Well, it's 3:00 and it's Wednesday, and we want to welcome you to the first Ask Elaine program of the new year. And we've got lots of things that we want to share with you, lots of MLK events that will be going on during January. Some could not take place, but we're going to have some others that we hope that you'll participate in, because we've got to be safe. It's about the pandemic. It's all about that. And so we've had to make some adjustments. But we want to welcome you to the new year. Happy New Year. We hope that you had a good holiday. We hope that your new year 2022 is going to be just wonderful for you, and that all the things that you've hoped for and worked for and prayed for will happen for you. If it didn't happen before, that it's going to happen. We're expecting a special guest in the studio in just a few minutes, and we're going to talk about the Tubman Museum, as well as talk about some Martin Luther King events that will be taking place. And then at the 3:30 point of the halfway the program, we will be talking about the Mentors Project with none other than the director there, and that is June O'Neill. So we'll have a full show. We try to get you as much information as possible. You can call us. We're glad to have you there on AM or FM listening to us. We're glad to have those of you who are already on Facebook Live. Overseer Randall is there, and good afternoon to you. And we hope that everybody else will be on pretty soon. And please share. Don't forget to share and let others know that we are on and that we've got some good information for you. We hope in the future, very near future, to have the newly sworn in mayor of Warner Robins, Georgia, LaRonda Patrick. She was sworn in on Tuesday as the first Black female mayor of Warner Robins, Georgia. And that is a milestone. And we hope to have an in depth interview with her. As you recall, some months ago, we did interview her and we wished her well. And we worked as hard as we could to get the word out that people needed to get out and vote. And indeed, they did get out and vote, and she was elected. But now that she's in office, she will immediately come under attack, just like Anita Reynolds Howard has come under attack for this whole year that she's been in office, our new DA. And so what we've got to do is to make sure that we're aware of what's going on, and we've got to make sure that when these people are under attack, that we don't just let it happen, that we don't just sit around and say, oh, that's so bad what they're doing to her. You can do something about it. You can let your voice be heard. And right here on Ask Elaine is one of those places where we have thousands of people who are listening in, and many others who join us via Facebook and the other media. And you can lift your voice and let people know, especially the ministers' wives, those other elected officials in the community. If you're heads of fraternities, sororities, Masonic organizations, you could encourage your membership to find out what's going on and do something about stuff. Because the only way that we're going to get things done is that we join together, we let our voice be heard, and never think that your voice does not count. One voice can make a difference. A lot of elections have been won or lost by one vote, two votes, three votes, and so forth. So that's what we want to encourage you to do. But we did start out by congratulating Mayor Patrick, and we want to say that we are here for you. We are going to support you, encourage you. You're right next door to us, and so we're with you. And then we're also going to redouble our efforts at making sure that we have the back of our district attorney, who stays under attack. If it's not one thing, it's another. So she's just doing her job, smiling, walking along, just continuing to do her job. And so I applaud her for that. I want to say to you that we want to thank our sponsors. One of the main ones is, of course, Senator Lucas, who helps to sponsor, and Maria Bryant has joined us. Hey, Maria, with the NAACP. We want to thank her for always being there for us and providing information and service to this community. But we want to let you know that you have greetings being sent by Senator David E. Lucas. The House and Senate will be going into session starting next week. As a matter of fact, the second Monday in January is when they call the session in. They will be meeting in Atlanta for 40 days, and during that time, they will be making laws for the state of Georgia. One of those, I hope they don't mess with voting rights. They did enough on voting rights. They have just about said, we don't want any of y'all coloreds to vote. That's what that's what those laws have said. So hopefully our national elected officials, the Congress, will enact the national legislation which will knock all of this stuff out. So what we've got to do is encourage those who are in the House and the Senate on the national level to make sure that they vote to enact voting rights legislation. There are two bills, the John Lewis bill, and then the other one is also a national voting rights bill. It would be terrible in 2022 for people of color to have their voting rights taken away from them. And we're sitting here looking at it happen, just watching it happen. It is the most distressing thing to me, and I know it is to you too, or it should be, that people can actually sit and say who they wish to have to vote, who will be allowed to vote, and who will not be allowed to vote. That's a shame. And it just says, John Lewis said, we're not going back. All these folks have said we're not going back, but we are going back unless we do something about it. So let's be encouraged. Let's take part in stuff. Let's not let others make all the decisions. Let's join in and do our part. And I just encourage you to do that. Senator Lucas, we thank him for his support. We also thank Black Voters Matter, which is a nonpartisan organization, but they support community efforts to get information out. So that's what we do. We get the information out to you. So thank you. And we want to encourage you to make sure that you get a copy of the latest edition of the Georgia Informer. Ms. Cornelia Walker has a lot of good information in here. And she also has some information on celebrating the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr., which we're going to talk about in a little bit. For those of you who always look for our calendars, we do have our new 2022 calendars. They are available. And we heard you when you said you didn't like the little bitty calendars. You said you like the large calendars. So we have printed the larger ones for this year. And each month has a beautiful picture along with some very, very nice sayings. For January, it says, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. That's just what we were just saying. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. And that's something that Walt Disney said some time ago. But it's a large calendar. It's one that's suitable for hanging on your wall or putting in your office or wherever you like. And you can keep track if the spaces are large enough on the days for you to keep track of different events going on. So we want you to come by EL High School Academy, and we're at 624 Shirling Drive, and you're welcome to come by while these last. There is a limited supply. So these are sponsored by Senator David Lucas and by me, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, and we want you to have these. And always remember that we enjoy. We feel that it's an honor to serve you. So I brought a few of them here to leave here at WDDO, and hopefully people who come in here will get them. We're still waiting for our guest, Mr. Harold Young, who is the director of the Tubman Museum. And he's going to come. He's going to tell us about All That Jazz, which is an event coming up later this month. And we're also going to talk about some other Martin Luther King Jr. Uh, events. I want to remind everyone that you should by now have received two new trash cans. You should have received a red one, which you're going to use for your household garbage, and you should have received a blue one, which is a little smaller than that. And that's for recycling. That's for, your bottles, your magazines, all of those kinds of things that you recycle. If you were recycling previously, then you will get a new recycling bin. The Ryland Company and Waste Management will come around. They will pick up your two old trash receptacles. And so, what you need to do is, if you have not had yours picked up yet, simply leave yours, put those out in your usual place. They will be picked up. If you have not had your old receptacles picked up, you can start and you have the new ones, the red one and the blue one. You can start putting trash in those and putting those out. You should have received in your trash, the new trash receptacles, some information that tells you exactly what to do, what day, and from what I understand, everybody has the same day. Some erroneous information was put out that was a change in the day for trash pickup. But rest assured, when the dust settles, all of us uh, uh, will have our trash picked up on the same day as we used to have. So anyway, if we have any calls, we have any information that we can, that any questions that you have about the trash, you can surely call me, send me a text message, an email, and we will try and get that information to the appropriate person and let them respond to you. It was a funny something earlier today. It's funny. Some people don't have, they have too much time on their hands. And one person was talking about, different services, and they wanted this done and that done, and somebody else wanted some things done. And one person wrote, I'm just having a real problem with squirrels. And I looked at it and I said, surely they're not asking about squirrels, but they were asking about squirrels. And they were saying they actually wanted to know if the county could do something about squirrels. And it was funny to me. I said, surely nobody thinks that the county can come and do anything. She said that they had too many squirrels that mess up this, that, their roof and all that. Well, we all have. But the county cannot handle your squirrel problem. I'm just saying, people sometimes ought to think about the things that they're asking for. We want to say hello to Dr. Mary Butler, who is on board with us today. Ms. Eloise Jefferson Hall, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us. Ricky Crawford is here with us. Good afternoon to you. Maria Bryant and Overseer Mabel Randall are all on Facebook Live with us. And we want to welcome all of you who are with us via uh, uh, AM or FM radio. And those who are on Facebook Live, please call up your folks, share, and let others know that we are on the air, that Ask Elaine is here. We are still waiting for our guest, and I guess by now someone's probably called him to remind him. Mr. Young is just very busy. Harold Young is the executive director at the Tubman Museum, and they have an event coming up, which is a major fundraiser every year. Many of you have attended it. It's called All That Jazz, and They have that event. It is a wonderful event. They have had just wonderful people to perform. And the senator and I have enjoyed many of the events. They have a wonderful dinner. This year it's on January 22nd. I'm going to go ahead and give that information just in case Harold doesn't make it. But it's on January the 22nd, which is a Saturday. It starts. You can the doors open at 6. Dinner is served at 7, and then the performance by none other than Smokey Robinson will be on the will start at 8 o'clock. So it's a wonderful thing, and I think they do have. If you don't want to participate through by sitting at a table and having dinner, I believe that concert tickets are available for $75 plus a fee. There's a handling fee or something. So I know that Mr. Young would want me to tell you to call the Tubman. Last time I talked to him, they were sold out or close to being sold out, but they might still have a few of the seats where you can get them and view and listen to the performance. I'm just really happy that it's back at the city auditorium, which is a beautiful place. The acoustics are wonderful. We've done a lot of repairs to the city auditorium as well. So we know that you'll want to go and see your money, what your money has bought, the renovations there, and also enjoy dinner, fun fellowship with fellow Maconites, and then also enjoy the um, the one and only Smokey Robinson. I just think that is just a wonderful. We've had um, Patti LaBelle here. We've had just a number of folks um, to perform, and the Tubman has just been wonderful in bringing these top acts in. Now, one person that you can always say is going to be right there when you call on her, because she expects you to be there when you promise her that you're going to be doing something. She expects you to be there, and she just she puts those little moon eyes on. What do they call it? And she, but our other guest has gotten here. Her name is June O'Neill. You see June there. June is the executive director of the Mentors Project, and thank you so much, June, for coming. For
Oh, it is a
always,
privilege to be here. Thank you for having me.
yeah, she's always on the case. And I'll bet you she has been involved in some kind of special activity today, if not today, yesterday.
We sent food out to 13 migrant families today, and we had some new clothes donated. So we filled up an SUV and we were happy campers.
Oh my. See, that's faith and works. That's works. That's a lot of people talk. A lot of people talk, but I respect people who talk and then do the walk as well.
Absolutely.
Do the walk as well. All right, tell us about the mentors, the designation. There was a news conference on
Oh, yes,
yesterday.
January is National Mentoring Month.
Mhm.
And of course, with COVID, we have had mentors fall by the wayside. They're sick or they're afraid to get out. And we have children that have fallen by the wayside that have not gone to school or have not done their virtual work when school was virtual. So we are just walking the streets asking everybody to consider becoming a mentor. And just 4 hours a month, you can change the trajectory of a child's life.
Okay, tell us about that mentoring. People might not understand what's involved with it. What do you do when you mentor
Well,
someone?
sometimes people think, well, I've got to wear a suit and have that kind of job. Listen, you can wash cars, you can fix cars, you can sell cars, you can be the transporter. You do not have to be the CEO. Just regular people that can be personal cheerleaders for the young people in their lives. Often, children that are living in a lot of chaos, they don't hear positivity except maybe from their teacher, their
Hmm.
counselor, and their mentor. They hear that they're not worth very much, that they're not smart, that they're never going to amount to anything. And mentors are just personal cheerleaders that step in to say, you've got this, you're going to stay in school, graduate, go to college, and be successful.
Right. And that works.
It
It
does.
works.
It
It
does.
works. How long has the Mentors Project been in
It's been
place?
in existence since 1990. It was started by the Education Committee at the Greater Macon Chamber of Commerce in one school, which was Southeast High School, with my dear friend Vicki Scott as the principal. Now it's in all the middle and high schools in Bibb County Public Schools. And I'm happy to say that at the end of this month, I will have been at the Mentors Project 22 years.
Oh
And
my.
yes, I'm old. I hope to retire there.
Look, you know what to do when you have that maturity. That's so. And over the years, I know what's been accomplished through the Mentors Project. So, how do you get your support? Where does your support come from?
Well, I just left this precious group of friends, a circle at my church, and they brought peanut butter, snacks, cereal. And one sweet friend said, I didn't bring any cereal, and she gave me $100 for the
Mm,
children.
mm,
So I've just been at Friendship Circle at Martha Bowman prior to coming here. So support comes in all shapes and sizes, and no amount is too small.
mhm, mm. Okay, I know that we through Macon Bibb um, have
Yes, we get the
yeah,
CDBG money, and
yeah.
that's wonderful. And I'm so happy to be a part of the Dr. Martin Luther King Commission that you are the chairperson of. And we hope that there will be a scholarship this year. We were planning one when COVID hit
Uh-huh.
for one of our graduates. And in 2021, we had a valedictorian at Southwest and the salutatorian at Southwest, and we had the valedictorian at Northeast. And we were turning cartwheels. We were so happy. So we hope that we will have some scholarships for the children this spring, because sometimes the cost of books can prohibit first generation college students from getting there and staying there. So we try to make sure they have a little money on the books so they can get their books.
Hmm. Oh, that sounds wonderful. And there are people out there who have those extra hours that they could give, or they could pull it from, some of the stuff that they're doing. It's really not about a whole lot. It's
No,
maybe enjoyable to them, but just think about the things that you could do as a mentor that could change the lives of young people. And that's one of the things that's got to happen in order for this community to be better, in order for this world to be better. More people have got to want to sincerely help others.
I wake up in the middle of the night to check online to see who's been shot. That is a terrible thing to feel like when you go to bed, you worry about if one of your children's been shot or if they've shot somebody.
Hmm.
And Dr. Julia Danley at SOAR Academy and I, we are always in touch because it's all about the children.
Yeah, and you just hope you hope you don't know the ones that you hear the
Right, right.
names, because we feel for everybody's child, but if you know them, it really touches you. And so those of you who have some time, who want to do something positive and help some people in this community, because I firmly believe if we don't make an impact on our young people, starting with our babies on up to high school, if we don't make that impact, it's kind of hard with older folks. They're kind of
Absolutely.
set in their ways. It's kind of hard. You just kind of have to change the systems with older folks. But with younger folks, we have an opportunity. And so mentoring offers is one of those opportunities that we have for people. Nita Huckabee has joined us, my sister, and she
Hey,
says,
Nita.
Very interesting. Thank God for wonderful people who are always willing to help others.
Thank you.
Um, Dr. Butler is with us. Eloise Jefferson Hall, Ricky Crawford is with us, and we appreciate Ricky. And Maria Bryan, of course, is with us. If you have a question or a comment that you'd like to make, we will accept calls. Our call in number is 478 250 1444. If you would please do us a favor and share this if you're on Facebook Live, please share so that you will remind someone else that we are on. And then if you miss the program or someone else does, encourage them to view the program later on. And we want to thank these fine folks at WDDO who help us every week to make this program possible. A few weeks ago, we were at an event that the district attorney sponsored. And we had started to interview June, and then the district attorney started giving her presentation. So we had to break away from that. And I knew we had to talk and finish our conversation, June. So I'm just happy that you were able to make it. We do have a caller. Welcome to Ask Elaine.
How you doing, Commissioner Lucas?
Doing great. How are you?
Fine, this is Mr. Taylor.
Yes, Reverend Taylor, I heard you were ill.
I have been something sick
Are you better?
the last 3 weeks,
Oh my.
Commissioner Lucas. I went last Wednesday, last Thursday, I went with an interstate drive to take a test for the COVID. And I
Hmm.
have not heard anything from them folks yet.
Oh, really?
And that was last uh, Thursday evening.
Okay, we got to check into that because it should not take that long.
So then
What I'm
yesterday,
hearing is the test results. You get your test results back. It's what, 3 days?
At the
Two, in
most.
some cases, 2 days, 2 or 3 days, and I would say after the fourth day, then there's got to be some kind of really good reason why you haven't gotten the results back.
You might want to contact
Yeah,
Dr. Smith at the health department. He would certainly help you get
right,
another test
right.
right away, and that's 478 745 0411.
Mm-hmm. You can tell those folks who use services and coordinate and collaborate with agencies because they know the folks and they know their phone numbers. So she is right. Dr. Jimmy Smith, who is the director, the administrator at the Macon Bibb Health Department, would be glad to get you tested. As a matter of fact, this weekend on Saturday, there will be two locations for testing with quick turnaround in getting your results. There will be
okay,
testing over at the site of the old health department on Emory Highway in the parking area, and also at the Macon Mall parking lot. There will be tests given, but I feel really bad, Reverend Taylor, that it's taken this long that you've not heard. I've got to find out who the folks are who administer it because there are some others outside of the health department or who are conducting testing, assisting the health department. So I know that they would
okay.
want to know.
And I cut you off on yesterday. I went to what's Nelson the new name is? Nelson here with the new name.
Navison?
Atrium.
Okay, I did go to Aiton out on out there on Zebulon Road on yesterday.
Zebulon.
I checked
Uh-huh.
in. They said it'd be about 2 days before I can hear anything from them.
Okay, so
So I'm
tomorrow you should get your results from them.
so I'm waiting for them. Waiting for them. Also,
Okay.
I got another complaint. We know we have a new uh pickup for the garbage in Macon. And the day was for when I pick up there. I have not seen nobody yet. Also, I had to get some new bedding for my bed and I got a mess in the box spring been on my alarm ever since before Christmas.
Hmm. Well, the new company that has the contract for garbage pickup is Ryland, Ryland. And they have
Yeah.
promised us that they're going to do a better job than the others that who did not do a very good job of trash collection.
I hope
You
they
will
will.
recall I voted against privatizing the garbage collection because I felt like we could continue doing a great job with it in house, but I was outvoted, and so we privatized, and it has been a mess ever since. Now, Ryland promises that nobody's going to get up to speed on day one. They have been working to get the trash containers out. And I think there's still one section of Macon that has not gotten the new cans. Um,
Hey, let me ask
and
you. Can I
once
cut you
those
off, Lady?
are done, then we're going to look for them to collect everything that's out there.
Okay, let
Go
me ask you
ahead,
a question
Reverend.
about Lady Green. Do our Lady Green containers out the street for them to pick it up and up?
No, stand it up right where you normally would place it.
Uh huh.
Put it there, and it will be collected. Do
Right.
you do you
By the
already?
street is
Yeah,
right. By the street.
yeah. Do you already have your red and blue ones?
I do. I
Okay,
do. Just
okay.
waiting to be picked up.
Put those old ones out by the street, and they should be collected. This
Thank you so much.
changeover is involving all of the citizens in this community, in the city and the county, because everything's consolidated. And so this changeover is going to take some time. And I know we've asked people to be very patient, and people have been very, very patient.
I'm
But
asking all of us. I'm asking all of us to keep our city in prayer as we
right,
continue to go through things as though we done started off, the new year
I know
without
we've
no
already
president.
already losing people.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to say Happy New Year to you and your family. God bless you. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for taking my
Thank
Thank
call.
you.
you. And you keep taking your medicine and, building your strength back up. And we hope that you and your family are feeling better very, very soon.
Thank you.
All right, Reverend. Thank you for your call. We have messaged Sandra Mathis, and she says that had to be us on Pine Hill Drive. None of our cans have been replaced. I've also asked for recycling bins. We couldn't get those, period. And we're told we had to buy our own, and that's not true.
That's not right.
That is not true. You've never had to buy your own. We've had those, not only the household garbage receptacles, but we've had the recycling receptacles all along that have been provided to you. And anyone who wants to recycle, even if you have not in the past, you can still get a recycling that notice that you get with your new trash cans has some information on there, and it will tell you exactly who to contact, and it'll give you all of the information that you need. You might also go to Macon Bibb County, which is a Facebook page of Macon Bibb County, and it has a lot of good information on there about what's going on in Macon Bibb County and notices of and most current information. So Miss Mathis says, awesome. That's great news. Thanks so much. And thank you for listening to Ask Elaine. We're glad that's the first time we've seen her name pop up there. But she said she did message that page. Thanks.
Well, I have been feeding children throughout the pandemic, and I have had garbage galore.
Yeah.
And they have been so kind at my church, Martha Bowman, let me use the dumpster. And then Mr. Maurice Jackson, he
More-
tries to send people out to help me, but they've been shorthanded because people
Yeah.
have been sick. But I have been the garbage queen through COVID. And today,
Oh,
when you're trying to lift 94 gallons of garbage.
yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing
Yeah.
today, and dividing it up into different bags to try to get it to the dumpster. But it
Right.
is a problem. But be patient, because this new company has said they're going to be awesome. And we are
Right.
just trusting and believing that that's going to happen.
Right. They're getting paid good money and they have promised us. And so this has gone on too long. And Miss Mathis, Pine Hill is a street that over the years I've seen it just cave in on the side. And so the we have recently approved the funding to place a sidewalk and I think additional street lights in there because anyone who travels on that little street between Shirling Drive and New Clinton Road knows that it is dangerous. I see people out there walking or picking up trash or whatever, and you have to be very careful because people do speed through there on that very narrow little strip. So you'll be glad to know that the money has been approved. It's in the budget for redoing Pine Hill and to make it safer. The buses don't, school buses don't even go down there anymore. It is just, it's dangerous. It is dangerous. Um, let's see. Miss Henderson says she doesn't have her red trash receptacle. Um, and she's saying no one on Bristol. If all of you will send these to my email, I would be glad to forward these on to the company. That's what I've been doing. As people have sent me emails or text messages with concerns or about something that hadn't been done, or they put something on my Facebook page, I've referred those into our county manager, into our public works department, and I have 4 places that I send your service request, and they've been getting to them in good order. So uh, don't hesitate to let us know when there's something that we need to do, and that's what I always say as a commissioner. If there's something, I can't be everywhere all the time. I'm not going to be everywhere to see everything. So please, let me know when you see things that need to be done, and I guarantee you, I will refer them to the right people. May Barry says that they've been with Ryland since July. Oh, they started out doing well, but slacked off. Um, the, the message here says that when called, the info given was short staff, hoping for the best since we've got Ryland now. And we are all hoping for the best because we had 2 companies that frankly disappointed us. And so we had a crisis and trash was piling up and just all kinds of stuff. So with Ryland being in there now, having the contract, we're hoping that they can, get everything pulled together very quickly. It's a lot of work. And so we're just hoping that it's going to work. And Miss Barry says she's hoping for the best since we have Ryland.
We all are. We all
Mhm.
are.
Mm-hmm. And Ava, you're welcome. We're glad to provide any information that we have. We're going to have someone on very soon who's going to talk about trash, who's going to talk about what you do, what the receptacles are for, which ones you use for what. And I know most of you know all of that, but we're going to go from A to Z as far as trash. Hopefully we can get someone from Ryland to be on here and then someone from the mayor's staff to be here to talk about trash and to answer your questions. If you have a comment or a question, Call us at 478-250-1444. Our special guest today is Ms. June O'Neill, who is the executive director of the Mentors Project. And she told us earlier how all of that started, and she's told us what they've been doing. June, how do you identify the children? How do you get
We
referrals?
get referrals from the school district. It may be a counselor, a teacher, an administrator. It may be somebody in the community that knows a child that needs help. And I think every child can benefit from a mentor. Every child needs personal cheerleaders in their life. And it doesn't matter if they have aunts and grandparents and parents and cousins. It's just nice to have an outside person who doesn't have to spend time with them, who's not related, that chooses to spend time with them.
Mhm.
That makes a child feel special.
Right. That's right. That is absolutely right. And you out there who have some time, you have some talent, you have a concern, um, then why not give it a chance. There's some young people whose lives can be turned around through your intervention, your help, your support. Miss Mathis is asking what day will what be aired, Miss Mathis. We're trying to determine the uh, what you are asking us. Oh, it will be a Wednesday. Ask Elaine is on every Wednesday from 3 to 4. So probably either the next Wednesday or the following Wednesday, we will have someone on talking about all things trash, anything and everything that you need to know about trash and about recycling and about anything related to waste disposal.
Who would have ever thought that trash talk would be one of the buzzwords in 21
Yeah.
and 22 in our community? It's just crazy.com.
Yeah, it is. It is. Um, all right. She says, awesome. Thanks. So we're glad we were able to provide this information. For those of you who just tuned in, you have tuned in to Ask Elaine. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, welcoming you. Those of you who just joined us, we're welcoming you to the show. Our special guest, in studio guest, is none other than June O'Neill, who is the director of the Mentors Project. And we were hoping to have Harold Young, who is the director of the Tubman Museum, but he does a radio program on another station, and so he might have been held up. He is very, very dependable, and so we've talked about all that jazz that the Tubman is having later this month, which is their major fundraiser, and none other than Smokey Robinson will be the special guest artist. The doors will open at 6 at the City Auditorium. Dinner will be served at 7, and then the performance will begin at 8. And for those who can't get tables, get chairs on the floor. And I think they may be sold out. You can still, I think, purchase a ticket for the balcony and witness the performance by Smokey Robinson. I believe those tickets are $75 plus a service fee. So we want you to know about that. On Monday, June and I, who both serve on the Martin Luther King board, were in attendance at a wreath laying ceremony at Rosa Parks Square, where representatives from Macon-Bibb County placed the ceremonial wreath, there at the edge of the park where the sign is located that says Rosa Parks Square. They placed it there to kick off the 2022 events, which are intended to commemorate the life and works of Dr. Martin Luther King. We had a nice group there. And then from that wreath laying, we had the Martin Luther King meeting, the board meeting. And a decision was made to support a January 17th event. That is the official holiday, national and state holiday, that honors, pays tribute to Dr. King. On that day, there will be a breakfast at the Tubman Museum, and I believe that one starts at 8:30. 8:30. And there will be social distancing, there will be masks, and there will be all of those safety precautions. I believe it's going to be a kind of a drive-through kind of activity.
Right. I think they said drive through, hand you the plate.
Uh-huh. After that event, then people are welcome or invited to join us at Rosa Parks Square up across from City Hall, where we will have bleachers set up, and you will have space to spread out. You will be wearing your mask, of course, and we will be socially distancing. There will be a program in commemoration of Dr. King's life and works. There will be short greetings from various people of all ages and religions and group affiliations in Macon-Bibb County. And we will intermingle that with performances from some very, very talented people. One of those is Miss Tracy Washington Scott, who plays the, what is that instrument?
Oboe.
It's a trumpet. She does the not a trumpet. Anyway,
she is fabulous.
She
we don't know what she plays, but she's wonderful.
She is wonderful. She performed last year for the wreath laying ceremony, and we asked her back this year. So she was there, and she's going to perform for us. And we're going to be asking others. There will be different singers, different soloists, small groups performing, and that will start at 10 o'clock. So we invite you all to get your mask. If you don't have a mask, we will have masks there for you, provided by the health department and provided by WDDO. I have some from them already, and we will have those. But nobody should be walking around without masks now.
Oh, absolutely
no
not.
one.
And
so
people are not going to be crushed together like a march.
No,
We're going to be spread out.
Right. You will be spread out. There will be bleachers, and then there'll be areas for you to, if you don't want to sit on the bleacher, you can still spread out even more and be a part of paying tribute to Dr. King on that day. And then after that, there are a number of the fraternities and sororities that have a day of service. And so they're going to be participating in a lot of service, like the Mentors Project. What do y'all have for that day?
That some of them will come and deliver food, because often when school's out, we think about a holiday and sleeping late and going out to breakfast and honoring the memory of Dr. King. We have some children that wake up and don't even have cereal and milk. So I hope that some of the fraternities and sororities will be saying, we're going to pull up and we're going to have cereal and milk and bread and peanut butter, and we're going to go deliver it. I've got some staple goods in our food pantry, which has had to grow tremendously since COVID started. And so I call on the fraternities and sororities to come out and deliver food. When school's out, that's a good time for lots of children and a horrible time for others.
Right. That's right. So if you want to see the events that are in place already for the Martin Luther King board that we are sponsoring or supporting, or that other organizations are sponsoring and are allowing us to support them, if you would go to Macon Bibb's website, look for the Dr. King icon there and click on that, and you will see the events that are already planned to start the year-round celebration in honor of Dr. King. We said on Monday that those things that he stood for are just as relevant now. He stood for helping the homeless. He stood for a decent wage for workers. He stood for people having access to health care. He stood for nonviolence, for people not fighting with each other and hurting each other. All of those things that he fought for and marched for and was beaten up for and was killed for, was murdered for, those things are still relevant today. His way of doing things, his ways are still relevant. So we still need to pay tribute, but it's it just makes me so sad that there are so many people who are forgetting what Dr. King stood for.
He said it's always the right time to do the right thing. And I said on Monday, I'm saying again, my daddy said, you don't do what's easy, you do what's right. And Dr. King always did the right thing.
That's right.
And that's what cost him his life.
All right. Miss Mathis is saying that we need a nice live band. Dean Brown and Dub Shack Band, African and reggae music. I think that is wonderful, Miss Mathis. If you would make contact with us, we'd be glad to see about working that in. Now, the folks who are performing on a volunteer basis. So I hope that this would be volunteer performances. Dr. Butler is reminiscing about the ceremony, the wreath laying ceremony on Monday, and she's saying that it was a beautiful ceremony and great music in the square, and indeed it was.
And we would like to have all kinds of music. You know, not just one kind of music. We like to invite all performers. We love that.
Oh yeah, that would be great. That would be great. We have another bit of information that it was that someone had on here that there was a bag that was in the receptacle when you received your red, or it just kind of my information has kind of disappeared. There was when you get your receptacle, your red or your blue one, there is some information that's in there for everybody to read from Ryland. Dr. Butler says that Pastor Lisa and she want to thank June. They want to thank you for always thinking about and including the South Macon district, South Macon, and helping to provide for the needs of those children.
It's our pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ms. Mathis, we've heard of Dean Brown. We've heard of that, and we certainly would love to have. I think that would be a great addition to the program on the 17th at 10. So just make contact with us, and we would be glad to talk with you about that. It's our time about up. We just run out of time.
I want to call out Tex James and CMD. I hope they will come and perform because Tex is all about I Believe in Me, and CMD's got the new single Bet on Yourself, and it's inspirational for the children. So guys, I'm calling you out to be there on the 17th.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, Harold Young must have gotten stuck in traffic or something, but we've covered that event, all that jazz.
And it's so much fun.
It is so much fun. There are not a lot of events where people get to dress up, with the sparkly stuff, and if it's cold enough, you get to pull out your fur for one time
during the winter.
Yeah, or your purr, whichever one you have, and you get to pull it, and people just get together. You see people you haven't had a chance to see. They will, of course, have to take some precautions there because this virus is still just, I tell you. Now, As we always do before we end this program, we remind you that you can't take part in elections unless you're a registered
Registered to
voter.
vote.
So please take care of that in 2022. Also, if there are opportunities to mentor, you've got some time that you can spend mentoring some of these young people and helping to save folks' lives, please contact the Mentors Project.
478-765-8624, www.mentorsprojectbib.org.
All right, you got all that. And June, if you'll include that, just go in the chat and include that information, and people will be able to go in. All right, I think our time is up. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, along with June O'Neill with the Mentors Project and Harold Young in absentia from the Tubman Museum. We hope that you've heard something today that has helped you to push you to get more involved in this community and make a difference. So on behalf of everybody here, thank you, and tune in again next Wednesday for another edition of Ask Elaine.
Bye-bye. That was fun.
Connecting the community.